Hi, my name is Robert, and I'll be showing you here how to create a conditional formatting that will highlight the active row of the active cell. Now, this is a very interesting use of conditional formatting because sometimes you have lots of text, like a table, for example, but you do not want to format to a table because obviously you have all this clutter of formatting. So in this case, you can use this conditional formatting trick in order to create an effect whereby as soon as you select, say, cell B5, then row 5 gets highlighted. So the first thing we're going to be doing here is to create a name. So you go to the Formula tab and you click on Define Name. Now we're going to be calling this name Active Row, and it will refer to the number 1. That's all you have to do. So it's very simple. The next thing you have to do is to highlight the entire worksheet, and now what we're going to be doing is to create the conditional formatting for our worksheet. So you go back to conditional formatting, you click on create new rule, and in this specific case we'll be using a formula, and this formula will refer to row A1. So we use the function row to grab the row number of cell A1, and we're going to set this equal to the name we have just created called active row. Now you can format the fill, and let's choose here a light color for the background, and you can click OK. Now as you can see, we already have the first row highlighted, and finally what we have to do is to create a little VBA procedure which will control our clicking. So we go to the Developer tab, and we're going to be opening the Visual Basic Editor. Let's just reduce this window a little bit and close these windows we don't need, and we're going to be opening the code window for sheet 1. Now in this case here we're going to be using the selection change event, which is the one already highlighted here, and just breaking this line so that you can see it better. Now you can do it two ways. I mean, in this specific case I'm doing inside the worksheet, but you say if you want to apply this to your entire workbook, then you can actually create the code I'm about to create here in the workbook code window. So in this case you would just choose from the drop down menu sheet selection change event, and then you could write your event here. Okay, but in this case I'll be using the sheet itself. So let's write here with this workbook dot names, and the name we created, which is active row. Let's just close this here with end with so we don't forget about it, and name, which is equal to active row, which is our name, and then it refers to R1 C1 equal, and then we use the equal sign between quotation marks, and we concatenate this with the active cell dot row. And this is it. You can now close the Visual Basic Editor window, and now as we go back to our worksheet, as we change the selection, as you can see, the row is highlighted. Now let's do this kind of selection, and as you can see, the active cell, which is this one, is the one highlighted. Now I could do it the opposite, and you should notice now that F11 is actually the active cell. So in this case it is row 11 that is going to be selected. So and this is seen here in our code in the active cell dot row. Obviously you could choose it differently such that you always have the topmost cell being selected instead of the active cell, but in this specific case all I want to do is really to highlight the active row, not the uppermost cell. So I hope you have liked this video. Just to let you know, even though I'm using here Excel 2007, you can apply this type of conditional formatting to Excel 2003, for example, and even earlier versions of Excel. So it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that you use the correct settings for the conditional formatting as well as the code that I have presented to you. So until next time, my name is Robert.